Etiefo, we will be akwaba eba Melody TV so. Former President John Dramani Mahama aba bontin be responded to President Akufo Addo. If you don't know what's going on, maybe I remember President Akufo Addo nsemo a wakan and then adwentra me nso me treye efa asem no eso. Now very simple. President Akufo Addo ebe ye State of the Nation address a year enra because of a year ende being Constitutional Day. One of the holidays at President Akufo Addo the Ghana for a 7th January Constitutional Day. And hunti obe address state no. Nembra o address state no obi nim because asemo a work no na nke mfa Mahama ho. Yabeti an say President Akufo Addo akwa kan say 3 years ni abo wini abato Mahama emfre no emma no congratulations krada. Asemo a President Akufo Addo kan no. Sani amaka no the details no me we are ye redeem Mahama response ni we are me the President Akufo Addo de nebeto aso na behu de eko. Mahama so aba betwa President Akufo Addo reply. Now Osha response na Mahama de ma President Akufo Addo na. Funny enough, it was the same thing I was thinking in my head. Say me na kame ya Mahama nka sa response na kame de be me Akufo Addo. Sa response na so na Mahama de aba. Na Mahama asemo a workani. O say on a rather sad note, it is unconscionable that 3 years after these tragic events, our president, Nana Akufo Addo, has not uttered even a word of sympathy to the bereaved families. The perpetrators of these murders continue to work as free men and still hold on to positions of authority and power. Let me take it again. Mahama say, on a rather sad note, it is unconscionable that 3 years after these tragic events, our president, Nana Akufo Addo, has not uttered even a word of sympathy to the bereaved families. The perpetrators of these murders continue to work as free men and still hold on to positions of authority and power. So President Akufo Addo eka say 3 years ni Mahama emma no congratulations no. Mahama nso se mo ka kire Akufo Addo ne say ya say 3 years ni ye koto aba ye kunkum nkrofo e wo techiman ya bon nkrofo tuo e wo nkran ha say ablekuma aye nkrofo ayaka de eno nso Akufo Addo nka ho hwe nti Mahama the response a nso de am Akufo Addo no which is a savage response what you say ani so see you congratulate you nso nkrofo mu ewu no den na wo ye efa ho onye hwe mfa ho omukodi ewudisem no still when they mene say they are still holding their position. That is what Mahama is saying. So no so tremu a say wo de ba wono so ne nsem wo ka no funny inti yengo tie President Akufo Addo there for the benefit of the doubt those omo ni masema President Akufo Addo kan ya Mahama response omonti ase no yengo tie mra emo obi bia kwaba eba Melody TV so eyenra na me say President Akufo Addo ebe address Ghana for omoka so obeye fellow Ghanaians. But I mean, let me just tell you the truth. I didn't bother to go and listen because I was like, President, I didn't know about that. Na so kasawe ye no na me hu say articles be trend they say President Akufo Addo aba bontin aba be kasa na nsem ni bia wokan ne say ne ya say 3 years ni we ni abato Mahama entumi mfre no en congratulate no kra say congratulations say we ni abato asemo you say President Akufo Addo ababe kano no and I'm say we there. Anyway, let me read the article and then let's see. Probably maybe the president was just joking into yanking kinda yang, and then probably we will see what the president spoke about. I say President Akufo Addo, in a message to the nation on the Constitution Day on January 7th, has said 3 years after winning the 2020 elections, his main opponent, John Dramani Mahama, was yet to congratulate him on the election's victory. I say, on a lighter note, 3 years on, I am still waiting for my main opponent in the 2020 elections to congratulate me on my victory, President Akufo Addo said. Okay, so I mean, that's what the president is saying, right? I'll say on a lighter note. I don't know what because the president is addressing Ghanaians, right? He's addressing Ghanaians on say and there Constitution Day. Inti ochina ye holiday. In terms of address Ghana for on sa Constitution Day in Sensem. Now, the Constitution Day one of the holidays that President Akufo Addo will introduce it to Ghanaians. No, inti so address Ghana for the Constitution Day. And or the film Ebema Joe. I mean, he's saying on the lighter note, so it's supposed to be a joke, right? But I don't know. Anyway, let's read and get where the president was coming from. What they are saying way about him, because I'm thinking, say, what will make the president pass this? I mean, send your no say a joke, no. What will make him pass this joke? Anyway, okay, probably maybe because it's a Constitution Day. Anyway, oh dear, I'll say by common consent, all well-meaning Ghanaians are agreed that the democratic form of governance is the most preferable, and we must do everything possible to guarantee the longevity of the Fourth Republic. As I have spent my adult life fighting for our individual and collective rights, and it is therefore gratifying to note that the nation's adherence to democracy has not waned. We know that there are no quick fixes to the challenges confronting us, and as we have seen in recent times, democratic structures of governance are capable of accommodating the most difficult of circumstances. As we have happily turned the corner on our economic situation as we experience the rebound of the national economy, and we will continue to work strongly at the problems facing the nation, knowing that the solution every 4 years rests as part on the sovereign will of the Ghanaian people when you exercise your power to choose freely your leaders to manage the affairs of the country. As the democracies are grounded on viable elections, and this year, like we have done on 8 other preceding occasions, we will go to the polls to elect the president and my successor. No true Democrat can disregard the importance of elections and the sanctity of the ballot. It must thus be in our collective interest to ensure that the rules and regulations of the conduct of this year's elections are fair and transparent, and that we all develop respect for them. A respect that should not be a function of whether you win or lose. As all stakeholders, that is the Electoral Commission, the political parties and their leaders, the electorate and citizenry, should work to assure the consolidation of Ghanaian democracy and help us maintain our pride of place on the continent as a model of democracy in Africa. At the end of it all, there should be no lingering doubt about the legitimacy of the election, and the winning candidate on the conclusion of the process should receive the unalloyed support of all. That is how we can strengthen our democracy and the peace and stability of our nation. On a lighter note, 3 years on, I am still waiting for my main opponent in the 2020 elections to congratulate me on my victory. I swore an oath on 7 January 2017 and again 4 years later on 7 January 2021 to be faithful and true to the Republic of Ghana and preserve, protect and defend the Constitution. I shall continue to do just that. It will not be under my watch that any adventurer will seek to torpedo the democratic path on which we are embarked. I will help see to it that we have a free, fair and transparent election in December 2024. You have my word. Ghana will be the victor of such an outcome, not any individual party or candidate. Nonetheless, I urge you, my fellow Ghanaians, to continue to embrace the basic values of the Constitution, founded on the principles of democratic accountability and respect for the rule of law, human rights and individual liberty and freedom, which the great majority of us believe must form the bedrock of our national development and individual prosperity. Yet, alongside this freedom, we must, with the same passion and commitment, uphold our individual and collective responsibility to contribute proactively towards the greater good of society. This is the vision of a free society. No society can be truly free unless its citizens feel the need to embrace both liberty and duty, hard work and compassion. Ghana is considered a beacon of democracy and stability in Africa, and the celebration of Constitution Day should inspire us, Ghanaians, even further to hold on to the enviable status. Once again, I thank Almighty God and you, the Ghanaian people, for giving me the opportunity to serve you these past 7 years. I have not taken it lightly. I remain committed to the mandate you freely gave me, and will use the last year of my stay in office to do all in my power to continue to help create a free and prosperous nation of opportunities for all. The battle is the Lord's. So, I mean, that's what President Akufo Addo is saying. For me, I think, say, on a lighter note, on the lighter note, Mahama says that joke. I mean, it was more like I didn't see it coming. I didn't see the relevance of it in the speech now or the about ya. But Osha President Akufo Addo in someone no about war still promising. This is about the third time. In just the space of 1 month, President Akufo Addo is promising Ghanaians that the elections will be free and fair. The elections will be free and fair. No, if there's one thing I know about President Akufo Addo, me personally, I'm not speaking for anyone. If there's one thing I know about President Akufo Addo personally, it's the fact that what he says is different from what he does. I'm sorry, but that is me. If there's one thing I have come to know about President Akufo Addo, is the fact that what he says, it is different from what he does. President Akufo Addo told us there will be no haircut. But what happened? Or can we the information minister betrayed Ghana for saying yes, but we saw haircuts or more government bonds. But Akufo Addo promised us there will be no haircuts. There are things that President Akufo Addo catching. We will not go to IMF. But what Edenia Atuyen? What you say? So I mean, this is the same person who goes and meets African leaders and tells them, say, don't go and beg the Europeans. If you beg them, they don't respect us. Or beg African leaders, no. Or the next day, and the next month, no, won't bro for no, almost say, or moma yesika, na yahua Omonfa ye kanche yen, ni yahua train. This is the same man. And for me, I don't take his word for it. Send your work and say, well, no, name wrestle, ne time, or kuntia, events, or he fought for the rights of people. I mean, that's what he's saying, right? He fought for the rights of people, or Kuma and Crawford rights. I mean, indeed. Yes, President Akufo Addo is known, or, I mean, that's what he did. But in the time, see, the first time in the history of this country, fix the country for your demonstration. Look at some flimsy excuses. It's the only time a President Akufo Addo BIS or demonstration. I am but no time they are. So I mean, for me, that's what I would say. The main canon. Person will taking a word for it, whatever he's saying. And if he's saying we should take his word for it now, the election will be free and fair. The elections will be free and fair. I mean, Charlie, it's a wow, dear. We sat here 2020. We saw how people were killed, and President Akufo Addo all can say Mahama. On the lighter note, me say me Mahama, Mahama. Anyway, but that's just him. Yeah, Mahama and President Akufo Addo Ababeka and same way. On the lighter note, one congratulate him, no. Now, Mahama and so Ababe's speech. No, so I can say, how do you expect me to congratulate you when you supervised over an election where people were killed and you didn't see anything about it? Me and Mahama and Kasemo Americano, no. Also, me congratulate you. Obi a wo share election, so human rights lawyer wa share election, so ama ye kume nkrofo. Was me congratulate you. Congratulations for what? Anyway, but that will be best here. That will be very petty. But I mean, that's that. Montreal, your comment box in my for me. That's it.